Will Levis has been in and out of the lineup, for injury more than him necessarily being benched. Although, his performance has certainly been pretty up and down. This past week in a win against the Houston Texans, he was 18 for 24, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. What do we think about Will Levis? We see it there, 64.6 passing grade. He had the 2 big-time throws, 1 turnover-worthy play, and a very high 86.4 adjusted completion percentage. A lot of people looked at Will Levis and they were like, nah, he's trash. Get him out of there. He's got no hope. And this is why you give guys a little bit of time, because sometimes they can give you games like this. What'd you think about Will Levis? And you give him the stick of immunity? Or are you twisting? You grabbing a new quarterback for next year? What do you think?
I'm sticking with
Okay.
Will Levis for another year. The problem is that Will Levis plays like he's in a twister all the time. Like that's the problem with Will Levis.
Yes, it is true.
I'm going to be the guy who is always. I mean, you have to be so bad for me not to. And then my new motto, like, I'm gonna stick with you until at least after year 2.5. And again, I go back to the same thing we talked about with Bryce Young. Like, let me see Will Levis in an another offseason with the same coordinator. Mm-hmm. Like, he's already on his second head coach and play caller. Give me Callahan for another year and let's see what happens. Let them develop with each other in the system so he knows the ins and outs of the system. I think with Levis, he throws the ball really well. He can get throws off in tight windows. He has some really nice plays where he's like rolling to his opposite hand side and he's still able to use his flexibility to get the ball around accurately. He's accurate. He has a strong arm. He's just like, there's 2 things with Will Levis. He's always going to take a lot of sacks. Like, he just is not an escape guy in the pocket. That's probably going to be the thing forever with him. So it's like, okay, well, he hasn't really played behind a good offensive line. Now, no matter what, he's going to take a lot of sacks when he gets pressured. However, can we eliminate 6 pressures a game because J.C. Latham developed, because Peter Skoronski developed, because you got a different right tackle, like a better right tackle? Like, can we take away 5 to 6 pressures a game, pressure dropbacks a game, and then we don't have to deal with taking 8 sacks?
Right.
That's the one thing. Again, he's not going to change. Like, he's going to be a guy who takes a lot of sacks. You're hoping that with time, the offensive line gets better, so you see less pressures, and then B, he's able to like see the field better and like kind of be in a situation where we can get the ball off before the pressure comes as well. And the other thing is, we gotta stay away from the 3 plays a game that are like negative 5,000 IQ plays. Like, you just can't.
He said that he was improving. He hasn't thrown a chest pass or a underhand pass in like 8 weeks. So he said that he was improving, because he did say that at the podium. So.
But then he threw the ball to the nickel. I don't remember who it was, and he got a pick 6. And it's like, all right, well, we can't give the other. Like,
at least it wasn't a chest pass to the nickel.
At least it wasn't a chest pass. Okay. He threw it. He didn't throw it with his chest. He threw it to the defender's chest.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah, it's not good. Still not good. Still technically a chest pass.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I am with him. It's like that's where I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get rid of those 3 plays, because even 1 play a game, it's like, they won the game, I know, but like 1 play and the other team has 7 points. Like, it can't happen.
I think you can,
and it happens all the time.
I think you can't eliminate those, because my biggest gripe with Will Levis right now is his footwork is so damn erratic. I mean, there are times where, now I have watched, like, a training or a hype video or something of Will Levis where, like it's shirts and shorts, it's not in game, whatever, he's hiking the football. The footwork is fantastic. Like, it's turning the way it needs to, his weight's in the front foot. The follow through is beautiful. And I go like, wow, what a great throwing motion. What a great setup. Very fundamentally sound. It makes a lot of sense. You get him in an NFL game, and I understand that, like, it's very easy for me to say this on this side of things than to be behind the offensive line with guys coming after me. What?
You get him in an NFL game, which is what he does professionally.
Correct. Yes. And then when you get him in an NFL game, which he does professionally, and there's plays that I'm watching from even just this past week's tape. I mean, his footwork is all over the place. He's jumping, like the hitch is just like way wider and more exaggerated than it needs to be. I mean, his hips are open. Sometimes his hips are too narrow. And then there are other times where I'm watching him and he'll hike the football and his feet will just stop moving. Like when he thinks he's about to throw it to somebody and then he can't, like the timing's just not quite there, he doesn't stay bouncing on his feet. His feet just like stop. And then, all right, I'm going to throw completely flat-footed and I'm going to throw it like sidearmed or whatever and make it happen. If he can fix his footwork to be like what I want Will Levis to do is on repeat, just go watch Joe Burrow film. Just the whole offseason. Just visualize and think to yourself, I am Joe Burrow. Just go watch Joe, because Joe Burrow, I mean, his nickname is Joe Cool for a reason. Joe will hike the football, and he is in the pocket. He's on his toes. He's ready at all times, and it allows him to have a very repeatable throwing motion. That's why Joe Burrow is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL when it comes to, accuracy numbers, but also true ball placement. You watch some of even the good Levis throws this past week against the Houston Texans. The ball placement's not there because his footwork is never the same. His lower body is just going crazy. It's like his lower body's like, I got to be able to run at any time. I got to be able to throw it anytime. It's just there's nothing calm about it. He has to calm down his the lower mechanics that he has in his throwing motion. Just go watch Joe Burrow, man. Joe Burrow, he's just calm, and even when there's pressure in his face, he's like, all right, it's fine, it's cool, whatever. I'm stepping up here. I'm moving a little bit here. But when Joe Burrow does it, it's precise, it's subtle. He does it in a way where he's still able to set his feet whenever he needs to make the throw. Levis is like the second the ball gets in his hand, and if pressure is coming and he's got to move, it's these like exaggerated steps and slides and then all of a sudden, like once he does to avoid the pressure, now his feet are in crazy directions, his hips are way too open, his throws all over the place, and the ball's not going. Even if it gets to the receiver, it's not true ball placement the way that it can be. So for me, I am also sticking with Will Levis because, like Richardson, it's hard for me to give up on a player with this type of arm talent that can get you out of trouble and complete some of the toughest throws in the game. We've just got to calm down. We got to calm down. And Will Levis, he's a very hyped up, energetic guy, and sometimes it's hard to reel guys in like that. But he's got to be able to do it, or he's not good. If he does not calm down his lower body mechanics, he will never be accurate enough with true ball placement to escape these narratives around him about him just not having the consistency he needs as a quarterback. So that's what I think about when I watch Levis's film. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. And if you don't have a PFF Plus subscription, you can get one to see all the premium stats that we talked about here on the show, plus the expert betting and fantasy advice over at subscribe.pff.com. The description is also right below. So if you are not a PFF Plus subscriber, you can come one today.